Good morning, guys. Today we are going to talk about roller blends, and I'm first going to start off. I'm going to put an oil on. If you have one, grab one. I will try to keep this concise and not too long, but let's just change the energy of what you may be feeling right now. Take some deep inhales, take a few breaths, pause for a moment. We all know there's a lot of stuff going on, and whether it be in your home, in the world, and it's just there's a lot of heavy emotions. So take your seconds to breathe and really just work on protecting, like I said, yourself and your energy and just your heart, because there's a lot of hurt, and staying in that negative space is not healthy for you or your family or the world. So oil up as often as you can. Okay, so took my spearmint in. Let's get going. So today, like I said, I wanted to discuss roller blends, because a lot of people who are new on the team are still a little unsure and are asking some questions. So I thought it'd be good to kind of review like what roller blends are, how to go about putting them together, different ways you can put them together, and just basically like the benefits of making a roller blend. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so I called this roller blend Bonanza. If you want to later on in the comments, go ahead and add any of your favorite roller blends. By all means, please do. If you have any questions about a roller blend or a particular health concern that you may have that you need some help with, you can go ahead and leave a comment as well, and we'll go ahead and address that for you. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go over some of the basics, and then, like I said, some of the standard roller blends that we recommend a lot of newcomers make, if it's something you're not necessarily familiar with yet. So let's get rolling. How cheesy can I be? Okay, so why do we make roller blends? So there's a few ways here. Is one thing is they're convenient. So a lot of times your purse can get really heavy, or your bag, when you're carrying around a bunch of bottles for different things. So making roller blends is really a great way to carry around your oils with you day to day in just a more convenient, compact way. They allow for customizable results. So what I mean by that is, say you are dealing with allergies or you get headaches a lot, you're able to combine different oils. And so what it does is it puts like a synergistic effect where all of the benefits of these particular oils come together to work against a different health concern or something that may be going on in your body that might need some balance. So that's one major benefit to making roller blends or just blending oils in general, is the ability to really create, like I said, a customizable result for whatever it is that you may be dealing with. Let's see, safe features for the whole family. So this comes when we talk about dilution. So when you are using, hey Erica, saw you just joined. Hi. Okay, so when you are using rollers, they are going to most likely be diluted with whatever carrier oil you decide to use. So when you're diluting oils, they become more safe because they're not as concentrated as they would be if they're used neat, which I'll get into on the next slide. So they're safe for the whole family when you are using rollers and diluting appropriately. And then also too, going with the convenience aspect, is they also travel well. So like I said, a lot of times you don't want to carry your full bottle of oil along with you. Say if you're, once pandemic's over and you're like, say you get on a plane or something like that, it's really easy to just have your few roller balls around, carry them with you, as opposed to carrying, again, your full stash of whatever oils you may need as you're out and about. So coming back to carrier oils. So carrier oils are basically vegetable oils with little to no scent that you use to dilute your essential oils. They're not volatile, so what they do is they help to aid in the absorption in the essential oil into your skin. They aren't gonna flash off like the essential oil does, so it kind of helps them to really get in there and penetrate the skin. Like it says at the end, it helps the oil to not evaporate so quickly. So it's really good to cover a larger amount of your body when using oils topically, with a smaller amount of essential oil. And then, like I said, it gives it a more lasting effect when you use carrier oils. So that's why we always a lot of times recommend you dilute, because it's not going to take away from the potency. It's just going to make them more like resilient and last a little longer on your skin to give you a more lasting effect. So some of the carrier oils that you can use, fractionated coconut oil, or FCO as we like to call it, that's the one that's most widely used. I just find, because I've tried a combination of quite a few on this list here, but I just find that with coconut oil, it's very light, it absorbs well into the skin, doesn't leave you greasy, it doesn't have a scent obviously, so it just really kind of ticks off all the boxes of what I would want to feel if I were to apply an oil to my skin. If you want an alternative, you could use sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, or grapeseed oil. I like to share a lot of times, I know when you're starting off, you might not have, say, the fractionated coconut oil or something like that. When I first started, I used the coconut oil that I had in my cabinet that I used for cooking, because it's the same thing. It just solidifies when it gets cold. But I used that when I first started because it's what I had. So I encourage you guys to use what you have until you can get, say, fractionated coconut oil or whatever type of carrier oil you prefer, because it's the same thing. But it just, with fractionated coconut oil, it always stays in a liquid state. Whereas the one that you would buy, say, for cooking, like I said, I want to say it still contains the fat, so it solidifies. I think that's why it solidifies. I could be wrong, but it's definitely okay to use. I would just get a little bit out with a spoon, put it in my hand, and then it would start to melt from my body heat, and I'd add my oil and then apply it to Drew or myself, whoever it was that needed it, until again I got that fractionated coconut oil. One thing I want to point out, which I highlighted on the bottom, is substances like butter, vegetable shortening, and petroleum jelly shouldn't be used. So one person asked me, hey, can I use baby oil as a carrier oil? And initially I was like, oh yeah, sure. But I was like, you know what, let me look it up. So I looked it up and the answer was no, because they don't absorb into the skin at the level that you need to help assist the oils in getting to the bloodstream. So if that was something that you've ever considered, no, shy away from the baby oil, Vaseline, things like that. Stick to the coconut oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil, whatever type of oil like that that you may have at home or that you seek out to buy to use as a carrier oil. Let's see. So, hey, Ash, I saw you just joined on. Let me see if it'll let me go back.
I lost track of time. I didn't realize.
It's okay. It's okay. So we just basically went off of why roller blends. So Erica, did you catch this part?
Yes.
You did. Okay.
I heard you too. So.
Okay. So then Ash, we were just saying why roller blends. They're convenient. They allow for customizable results. When you put them together, they create like a synergistic effect to give you certain outcomes. They're safe for the whole family as far as dilution goes, and then they are obviously easier to travel with and carry around a whole bunch of oils. So that's quick rundown. That's what we talked about before you came.
Okay.
Okay. So then moving on from types of carrier oil, so obviously that's going to be what you use with the essential oil. You're going to want to know how much to use. So I recommend, if you're someone who is concerned, seek out a dilution guide. So these are in our group. You can honestly Google essential oil dilution guide and you will have a bazillion options. They're all pretty much the same because there's kind of, basic standards as far as dilution goes. But these are just general guidelines. There's no strict right or wrong. you'll hear me say all the time, trust your gut. Obviously, when we use doTERRA essential oils, less is more. You want to use the small amount over a more consistent time frame. So obviously, you're not going to want to do a whole bunch at once. You're going to want to do a drop or two spanned across a few hours. So this is another great thing to consider when you're diluting, like how strong do you want it? How often do you plan on using it? So for instance, something that we will use every day, like say our immunity blend that I have for my kids. In my roller, max, I'll do anywhere from 10 to 20 drops. So that's, break it down according to how many oils you're using, do the math, and then kind of adjust accordingly. If it's something like, say, the flu bomb, which I'll highlight in our recipes, which I'll use for a shorter amount of time because I'm going to be using it every few hours, but I want it to be a little stronger because I'm really trying to help boost our immune system at a kind of more rapid rate, then I will have a higher drop count. So kind of think about the situation, what you're dealing with, and like the goals you're trying to achieve when you are deciding how strong do I want this roller. Another thing too is 1 drop of oil is so potent, so you don't need a ton to get an effect. It takes 1 drop of oil to service every cell in your body within like 20 minutes. So I honestly believe that when you are using higher drop counts, it's unnecessary and you're wasting oil. So start with a lower drop count, and then from there you can use it and say, I think I want to add a little more, and you can go ahead and do that. But always start on the smaller drop count end and then work your way up to whatever your desired result is. So looking at this, you can kind of see like the different guidelines of what they recommend according to age. So anywhere from 0 to 12 months, looking at like say 10 mil roller, because that's usually what a lot of us buy. You can do anywhere from 1 to 6 drops. I know for Vita, she in her roller, I usually do 1 or 2 drops of each, like for her immunity blend, of the frankincense, arbor vitae, and on guard. But I've been using oils on her since she literally came out of the womb. So her body's familiar with them. But say you're going to be using them on like a brand new baby, I would say no more than 1 to 2 drops, and just kind of start them off slowly, and then you can build as their age increases and their exposure to oils increase. And then again, people with sensitive skin, you want to be mindful of that when you're diluting. Obviously, you want to do a smaller amount of oils to a higher amount of carrier oil, again, if you have sensitive skin, or people who are elderly, because they're also a little more, I don't want to say fragile, but they're a little more sensitive to the potent oils. So let's chat recipes. So let me close this out. If I personally enrolled you, you've most likely seen this document. If not, it's part of the group, but it's something that I like to share with people. You guys can see this, right? I have my oils now wet. Okay, it's something that I like to share because it's basically like answers a question like, okay, I have my oils, what the hell do I do with them? So you can obviously, this is all the basics, open your oils, get your resources, talks about dilution, recipes. But the thing that I wanted to highlight on this and go over is the next, I want to say 2 to 3 pages are just recipes of different rollers you can make, different combos you could put together for particular health concerns. So I wanted to highlight a few that are I would say like the most popular, like basic foundational recipes that a lot of us use daily. And then we can kind of, I can open up the space, and if you guys have any questions or any roller suggestions that you want, we can go ahead and talk. So let's see, first one, let's talk about, okay, so Happy Head. This is probably one of my top requests when I do a class, like a make and take class. It's for head tension or migraines. So this particular blend is a combination of frankincense, peppermint, and lavender. So if you have access to this document, by all means, like use it. If not, take notes, because these are all really good recipes that you should have on hand. So again, combination of frankincense, peppermint, and lavender. So basic recipe here would be 4 drops of each. You can obviously increase that if you want. But this particular blend is super powerful, and it's actually the reason why my aunt became a believer in essential oils, because she was taking Excedrin almost every day. She suffered from severe migraines, and this particular blend was what helped her not to have to use the Excedrin every day. So just 3 oils, super powerful, and just she would apply it to her temples, across the forehead, and the back of her neck. And I want to say like her dosage was 3 swipes. So she would apply it like 3 rounds, and that's what would give her relief. If you also find that you have severe head tension, you can always do the frankincense trick, which is just getting the bottle, tipping it over, getting some on your thumb, and pushing your thumb to the roof of your mouth for like 15 to 30 seconds. It'll help to relieve the tension in your head, and it really helps to just calm that discomfort that you might have. So seasonal Zen is our allergy blend. That's the one that the past 2 weeks people have been asking me for. I've been mailing them out. This oil or combo has got so many people off their allergy meds. I know Light has a great testimony about her daughter. Perla shared in the group that she doesn't have to take her Benadryl every day. I know personally, my coworker was on like an inhaler. She had migraines all the time because her allergies were so bad. And I just gave her lemon, lavender, peppermint. That's the allergy trio. In a roller, she applies it to the back of her neck, and now she barely has allergy symptoms. It's very rare if she does have any type of flare-ups. So lemon, lavender, peppermint, part of the top 10 oils. You can get all 3 in a combo. It's called like an intro kit for $20. If you want the larger size, it's $50. If not, it comes in your top 10 family essentials kit. But you guys, like this blend, you should have on hand at all times if you are someone who deals with allergies, because it works super well. So like I've mentioned before, the lavender works as a natural antihistamine. The lemon is going to help to dry up and clear out any type of postnasal drip or like mucus that you may have as a result of the allergies, like runny nose, things like that. And then the peppermint's going to help to open up the airways. So it's a really great combo, really powerful, and it really does the job. Digestive health. So Digest Zen on its own is our like digestive health blend. So that particular blend on its own works well. Like to me, think of Digestin as your Pepto-Bismol. So whatever type of nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, like sing the song, because it covers all of those. But if you are having any type of issue with constipation, you will add the wild orange, and the two together help get things moving, and they work really well. So whether you have issues with that, or I've personally used it on Vita if she's having any type of tummy troubles, I have a blend of those 2 oils together, and it really helps her to get things moving and pass it out.
You said for constipation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
Yeah.
Juliet has issues with constipation right now because of the she just started eating food.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so give that a try. So just make a roller with the 2 oils, and then obviously you'll do the massage, and then I usually do like the the little leg exercises they tell you to do.
Yeah.
And that helps to get things moving.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll try that.
for sure. Let's see. Okay, so any type of ear infection or ear discomfort will be basil, lavender, and melaleuca. You never want to put oils in your ears or in your eyes, but you can rub them around. So for this particular blend, again, the basil, lavender, melaleuca, I can give a testimony to this because one time I started having ear discomfort, and I was surprised at how quickly this helped relieve the pain. I rolled it on, and literally within like a minute or 2, I was like, holy crap, my ear doesn't hurt anymore. So it's like, it's cool when you're able to have those experiences. But for this particular one, you would just combine those 3 oils, and then you roll them like along your ear bones, on the outside of your ear, down the side of your throat, And then I usually like put it on my finger and I rub a little like in my ear canal, but not getting too deep because again, you don't want to put them like dropped in your ear. But when you do that, it really, really helps to give you relief. It helps to encourage like the drainage if you have any type of fluid causing the pain. But that one works really well if you do, or if you or your children or anyone you know has issues with like ear infections. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk balm. Oh, do you have a question?
No. Before I started doing the oils and stuff, I did look up because I had a few oils before I had all of the ones I have now.
Mm-hmm.
I looked it up and we use lemon when they start getting and we do that, but we do like a massage the way that you were doing to your ear right now, but we pull on the earlobe and then like push downwards because
Okay.
it says whatever's about to cause the ear infection, you want to flush it out. So you go
Yeah.
downwards with lemon. And
Okay.
that seems to work too, actually.
Sweet. Well, that's good to know. I
Yeah.
would. It makes sense though because lemon dries up like a stuffy nose or any type of like fluid gunk that you might have.
Yeah.
So that would make sense that it would help with the ear infection.
It works really well.
Nice. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the balm. So flu balm, the balm, whatever you want to call it. This is your immunity support go-to blend. We have one of these made on hand at all times. Usually this is what we use, at least on Giroux, because obviously Vita's blend is a little different. At least once a day, whether it be in the morning or night, to support his immune system. But it's also what we turn to and use if we feel like we're getting sick or we are sick. So what it is On Guard, Melaleuca, lemon, oregano, and frankincense. So you'll see the drop counts there. 6 each of On Guard, Melaleuca, and lemon, 3 each of frankincense and oregano. So this blend, whether it be daily, like I said, you could do AM, PM, or both, whatever you prefer. It's going to really help to support the immune system. If you are sick, use this honestly, like in my house, it's usually like every few hours or whenever I think about it, I put it on. So we don't get sick often, if ever really, since we've been using oils, to be honest. One thing that I can confidently say is since we started using oils in 2015, up until this past year where we had to take him in, we hadn't had to take Giroux to the doctor for any like illness related issue since we started using oils, which was pretty cool. So, and even when we did take him to the doctor this last time, they found nothing. They said it was allergies. So, it's just cool that I can stand here and confidently say, like, by using our oils every day, I have proof that, they do their job. So, if you are sick or you feel like you're getting sick, use this, like, if you want, every 15 minutes. If you're using it on the baby, do it every diaper change. On yourself, every time you think about it, roll it on the bottoms of your feet. If you can do it up your spine. Honestly, like anywhere you feel moved to put it. I know sometimes like my throat's been kind of bothering me. I'll rub it on my throat, back of my neck. It just as long as you're getting it on your body. This is also a blend that you could put in a veggie cap if you want to take it internally, if you don't want to smell like the oils. I know it's what Matt prefers because he doesn't want to smell like pizza feet, as he calls us when we use it, because of the oregano. So obviously, I would recommend lowering the drop count because that's high kind of for an internal dose. So for us, I usually do like 2 to 3 drops each. And then like I said, I'll put it in the veggie cap and then just take it with water. But this combo, like I said, is one that I think everyone should have on hand and use daily if you're not using On Guard already on its own, because that is good, but this is just kind of like a little added bonus, I guess you would say, with all the extra oils. So that's the balm. Let's see. So sleep and calming is what's next to it, but I want to talk about balance and serenity. I'll get into more detail on the next class, which is sleep and stress, but balance and serenity, before adaptive and like all of that was around, those two in a roller together, I'd probably do about 6 to 8 drops each, are amazing at helping with anxiety, stress, anything that you would turn to like adaptive and stuff like that for, any type of heavy emotional issues that you may be having. Balance and Serenity by far is the go-to. It's like the chill blend. So use those two whenever you need to. They're also really great in the diffuser if you want to do that, but they're not two that you can take internally. So I don't recommend doing that. But Balance and Serenity for sure for emotional support, any type of heavy feelings you may be having. So pain. Here, there's a muscle and joint pain combo with deep blue, frankincense, lavender, and peppermint. But the one that I want to talk about and just kind of share is deep blue and lemongrass. So these two, like Balance and Serenity, are what I kind of refer to as like a peanut butter jelly blend. They go really well together. So the deep blue and the lemongrass work really well at supporting pain, inflammation. If you have any type of like joint or tendon issues, those two are gonna work really well at supporting that. So whether you are someone who has a really active lifestyle, it's gonna help you there. I know people who have had issues with like arthritis or just pain in like their fingers, their joints. I don't want to say carpal tunnel, but my coworker, we are on computers all day, so his wrist hurts a lot, and this particular combo helps him. So whether you apply it directly to the wrist or like you can do up the arm, it's going to support your tendons and your muscles and just any type of pain and inflammation that you may have. Let's see what else, other ones. So Sun Blend. If you want to search our group, there's a really great testimony from Light about like an after sun spray, but summer's coming, or well, if we can go out, hopefully we'll enjoy the beach, the sun, things like that. But using lavender, peppermint, and frankincense together, whether it be with coconut oil, you can like have a roller of it and apply it to your face if you get sunburn there, or you can even make a spray of it. Those are really good at supporting skin that's been exposed to the sun. So if you have sunburn, anything like that. If you want, you can even add a little bit of melaleuca to it because that's really great for supporting the skin as well. But the lavender is going to be really great for healing. The frankincense is going to help with the inflammation and the pain, and the peppermint is going to be cooling. So they all work together to really support the skin and help to restore it back to, I guess you could say, health, not be a lobster. So again, whether you make a roller of this or you have a spray, it's really good to have during the summertime. Let's see. Are there any questions or anything that you guys have so far? No? Okay. Let me see. Give me 1 sec. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. Happy Head Roller Blend. Okay. So that's some of the ones that I wanted to highlight here. Let me just make sure there wasn't any more here that I missed. Let's see. There's a blend for thyroid that's really, really good. I see here thyroid supports what made me think about it. Let's see. So this one here says 10 drops each myrrh and lemongrass. But I want to say there's another blend. Let me go into the group. Because there's another blend that I know Melissa has used. Does anyone have thyroid? Is this an area that you guys are curious about that I can search for? Yes or no? If not, I can find it and post it in the group.
I'd like to hear it.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so here's a testimony so this person shared their testimony and their so what were they getting? Let's see. They started using it. They had a thermogram, right? Yeah, thermogram, and it showed the progression of their thyroid issues. So let's see. They used 20 each. So this is a higher drop count. Of frankincense, myrrh, basil, lemongrass, marjoram, and clove. If you want, you can drop those down to 10. I feel like it should still be supportive because I think 20 is kind of high. If you want to do that, by all means, you can. You're gonna apply it to the area on your neck where your thyroid is twice a day. But you can see how it progressed over time after using that blend. So that's pretty cool to see that there. So again, it's frankincense, myrrh, basil, lemongrass, marjoram, and clove if you want to make that blend up. And then again, did you guys see how I use the search feature in the group? Are you guys aware of that? The search
No,
feature?
I wasn't. That was helpful.
Okay, so yeah, so if there's ever anything that you are curious about, or you're like, hey, you know, I have this issue, what can I use? Always use the search feature. So mine on my computer is here on the left-hand side of the team page. If not, I think it's in the top right-hand corner of a mobile Facebook, like when you're looking on your phone. But just type in, you know, whatever it is that you want to know. So like I typed in thyroid or sleep or teething, whatever you're dealing with. And anytime we've referenced that particular keyword in the group, it'll pull up the post. So it's a great way to search for resources and answers to any questions you may have. If you don't want to personally reach out to whoever shared doTERRA with you, and like, you know, some people are always like, I don't want to bug you. Not that you ever are. But it's a great way to find solutions to any issues or questions you may have if you want to search on your own. So use that search feature. Also, too, since we're here, I've shared, there's like a video and a few other things from actual doctors regarding thyroid, if that is a topic that you're interested in. Let's see. Okay, so here's a few other recipes that I also send out to new users. So here's another kind of dilution chart. But then here's a few more recipes if you have any interest in taking these down as well. So we talked about the allergy blend, immunity support. So like I always mention, I have an immunity blend for Giroux and then I have one for Vita. So the one I use for Vita is frankincense, On Guard, and Arborvitae. So this particular drop count is for like a standard roller. Obviously for her, it's reduced drop count because she's still so young. But it's still, if you want to have a variation of immunity support to kind of switch back and forth, you can definitely do that. I like to kind of switch things up and not use the same thing every day because I just feel like it kind of gives your body a break and it gives it something else. Just, you know, something else to use and support. So that's another great blend to make up if you want. Again, that's On Guard, frankincense, and Arborvitae for immunity support as well. For sleep, one blend, obviously there's plenty of blends that you can use for sleep. This one is lavender, cedarwood, and juniper berry. So cedarwood is very grounding. It's what I choose to use for sleep. I put it on my big toe and on my forehead. But this one combines, again, lavender, cedarwood, juniper berry. So juniper berry is the oil of the night. It's really good at helping if you or anyone you know suffers from nightmares or any type of disruptions in sleep at night. So combining it with the cedarwood and then the lavender, which is kind of like universal, relaxing, go to sleep oil, it's a really, really great trio of oils to use to support yourself. So this particular blend calls for 5 drops each. Obviously, you can adjust those to whatever your liking is, but that's just kind of a general good rule of thumb, 5 each for those 3. Let's see. So I already said balance and serenity together for anxious feelings, stress, things like that. But we call liquid Xanax if you want to add vetiver to it. So I call vetiver our tranquilizer oil. That one will knock me out in a second. I use it on Vita if I ever need her to just kind of calm down. But adding the vetiver to the balance and serenity adds just another level of grounding. So if you have really heightened, say, emotions or stress, or you just really need to come back down, add that vetiver to your blend and it'll work really, really well at helping to support your emotions. Okay, Monster Juice. So this is a good one whether you need to help bring yourself back in and turn off the B mode. Or if your kids have tantrums or they struggle with heavy emotions or acting out, citrus bliss and balance work really well to help regulate your mood. So balance is our grounding blend. That this one calls for 10 drops each. It's a higher drop count, but I feel they work really well together. So I would feel comfortable doing that because balance already has some fractionated coconut oil in it since it is a blend. But obviously you can adjust the drop count if you want. But so the balance is going to help to ground those emotions and calm them down or you down. And then the citrus bliss is going to help uplift the mood. So it's going to help regulate you but make you happy. So it's a really, really powerful blend to use, whether it be, again, on yourself or your children, just basically anyone who is struggling with like you just feel tense. Use the monster juice and it'll help you diffuse the fire that you may have going on inside. Let's see, I already did deep blue lemongrass. There's another sleepy time recipe that you can consider there. And one other thing that I also wanted to share as far as finding roller blends and things like that. You can always use Google or like Pinterest, for instance. So just go on Pinterest and type in doTERRA roller recipes, or you can type in recipes for whatever specific thing you're looking for. And you will see there is a sea of resources on Pinterest and the internet as well. So again, like I've cautioned, watch drop counts because sometimes people put crazy things out there. But there's plenty of resources and different, you know, options that you can try and see what kind of resonates with you and what you think, oh, I have these particular oils, I'll put them together. So use this as a resource as well. I know I've found some of the blends and recipes that I love and use off of Pinterest because I was on this all the time when I first started. But yeah, this is definitely just another way to find ideas and recipes that you can use to help whatever health concerns you may be dealing with. So like here, balancing hormones. We obviously have Clary Calm, which is already together in a roller for balancing hormones. But if you would prefer to make your own, there's a recipe. So this one calls for tangerine, 4 drops geranium, 3 drops, 4 drops lavender, 2 drops ylang ylang, 2 fennel, and 3 clary sage. So it's kind of cool to kind of see what blends other people come up with and different takes they have on supporting different health concerns that we may be looking to use oils to support ourselves with. So definitely use Pinterest as a resource if you are looking to make different roller blends. But those are the ones that I wanted to share with you guys. Are there any particular blends that you have that you love, or are there any ones that you're, things that you're looking to use oils for that you might want a suggestion for? Anything?
I used the immunity one, the other one, I found it online from somebody else who, those people on Instagram and stuff that like do the whole like recipes and stuff. And she called it Flume.
Yeah.
Because of the frankincense lemon. And I've been using that too since I started getting into the oils and stuff. And I'm the same as you. I can sit here confidently and say that I usually during winter will have to take my kids to the doctor twice each. And I haven't had to take them at all since I started using it. So that one I can testify to is amazing.
Definitely. And then speaking of Flume, because that is definitely another like name for like the flu bomb because it's the same oils. Let me see, because once this whole COVID thing started, there's a few doctors in our group who really took a deep dive into the root cause of what was going on and like really put it in terms of like how to support your body using the oils during this time. And they called it Fluma. Let me see. I'm trying to think of what I may have called it when. I don't think I called it that. Oh, right here. Let me see. Because they had like a few different oils. I think my mom shared it. Let me see. Because I think theirs had lemongrass. Where does it go? Darn it, I'll have to look. Maybe it's in my pictures. I'll have to try to find it. But it was frankincense. Was it on guard, oregano? Like there's an A where it was arborvitae, and then the L instead of lemon was lemongrass. So those were the slight variations they made of it. But there was what you call it? There was like a darn it, I see my mom's comment, but I don't know why I can't read it. There was more reason as to why they recommended those particular ones. So if I got clearly am totally eating it right now and I'm doing a horrible job at explaining, but if you go to this oil talk post, the link here will take you to the recorded call where they talk about ways to boost your immunity on another level right now. So if that's something you're curious about, definitely go back and listen to those. Are you guys familiar with the oil talks on our larger group? No?
I've seen them, yeah.
You have? Erica, have you? I know you're still new. Have you heard about that? No? Okay, so it's if you go to hellovisionary.life, that's our Blue Diamonds team resource website. And there's community calls and educational calls that you can listen to the recording of. And a lot of times, because at our higher level, a lot of the leaders up there are actual like doctors and naturopaths and you know, coming from a medical standpoint, they're explaining how to use doTERRA essential oils to support your body from, again, a credible medical standpoint, not just us and our personal testimonies. So I really, really recommend listening to those recordings. And if not, there's notes that you can see. So let me see if it's which one it's under, because I know they updated the website. So yeah, so there's recordings here of the community calls. And let me find the notes. Sorry guys, give me like a minute. Continue, let me see. Oil talks. So you'll want to look for oil talks, because those are the ones where they spoke a little more freely and not as compliantly in regards to their recommendations. So it goes according to day that it was, you know, released. And you see there's here recipes for the flume and things like that. But it's a really, really great resource that I recommend you take a look at, especially if you're new. So again, it's hellovisionary.life. And then this particular section is under oil education, oil talks. And, you know, one thing I did a lot when I was first starting out is when I was in my car, if I was going somewhere, I would put on whatever video or something, and I would just listen to it. So instead of the radio. And that was the way that I got a lot of my education in between, because I know there's a bit to learn when you first start, but doing that, it made it a little more easy to take in the education while I was still doing something productive. So while you're washing dishes or, you know, you're doing something around the house, put your headphones on and just listen, because a lot of the information that they share is really, really beneficial and it's really helpful. So I, again, recommend you guys take that extra step to kind of boost up your own oil education. But yeah, hopefully those resources were helpful. Let me stop my share here. Do you guys have any questions about anything? Are you good? Oh, did you say something?
No.
So I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining. I will go ahead and let me stop the recording.